I'm Rouge the Bat Spot.
Sister, I have to like prepare myself.
Prepare yourself. Get the juices. Get the juices.
Get the jewels.
Get the jewels.
Give me.
Get the chaos emeralds ready.
But because you know, okay, I have my little Rouge the Spy outfit. I'm like,
get your latex on.
I'm in the what is it? I'm in the security hall. I have to steal the master emeralds because in this segment I have a little tea for you. I have a little. We've been a little Rouge the Batfish.
Okay.
So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Crimson Monastery, the Crimson Report. We got some. The spirit went through me.
The spirit. I watched the possession happen.
So, you know us over here, being nosy in the monastery, we always get some news.
The eyes are open, the ears are always open.
So, you know me and you, the red Harpie lady and you're the blue Harpie lady.
Yes.
We're just flying in the monastery being woo woo woo. So recently our third Harpie lady sister.
Out in the field.
Out in the fields, giving us the rundown. She gave us a good, interesting scope on a topic that I would like to talk to you about today, which includes the circuit gay community.
Alrighty.
So the secret gay community is usually those EDM gays that are like...
Of course. It's a specific party group, right? It's like a company that holds these like events.
Yeah, it's like a subculture, I want to say.
Yeah, but it's like... But circuit is the name of it. Like they're...
Yeah, like circuit parties.
Yeah, so they're circuit parties.
Yes. So these parties are like infamous for like their... I would say for their like long because they have like long festivals, I think. So it's like ongoing like parties. So it's a big party. Party don't stop to like break in. So recently I was talking with our fellow sister and she was telling me an interesting little tidbit about basically how the circuit community could in a way be misconstrued or misrepresented.
Okay.
And you know, over here at the monastery, we love to argue, we love to discuss, we love to fight and all the things.
Everything's a Rubik's Cube. We gotta flip it, turn it, change it sideways.
So the main like little issue that we started talking about was, is the circuit community, is it discriminatory or is it very inclusive? Like, to put it both positive and negative. Yeah,
but, okay.
So, here's how we're going to start the conversation.
Because I already have a problem with that statement.
Oh, come on. We're not going to start the conversation. We're just going to yell and pounce. So, sister, let me have it. What do you think so far?
I think that going into the extremes, it's always going to be like, this is good, this is bad. Because, okay... In my understanding,
right.
I never got the impression of someone, like, of them discriminating against who's allowed to come. Because it reminds me a lot of clubs down here where it's like, hey, these kind of clubs tend to have a particular look, a particular vibe. It's kind of like those little events that we would go to.
Right.
Very exclusive, not heavily advertised.
Very VIP, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. And there were certain things that were taking place in these events. So, very few, small crowd.
It was a very controlled environment.
It's a controlled environment. So I feel like people are not taking that into consideration. It's not like a regular party. Secondly, yes, there tends to be a certain type of person and group of people that are there that are very attractive and a certain color and whatever. But okay, minus the race for a moment, it's more like there's just a lot of like attractive and successful people specifically there, and people, you know, are looking to hook up while also doing these extracurricular activities.
Right.
And some people are not able to get into these places because they don't know anybody. And in that is like, is that discriminatory and exclusion?
Well, that's
or is this just not like you not being well connected and not? I mean, because places are allowed to, at least down here. I don't know.
Right. Well, it's funny that you bring that up because apparently the circuit scene is different from state to state. So
okay.
It is.
I did not know that.
Right. So our sister, you know, our good correspondent,
okay.
that got all the tea. She let us know, and she also let us know that yes, unfortunately, it's a type of environment where you kind of have to have like one of the gatekeepers kind of show you the way in and like entrust you with it, because in a way you
out here being a gatekeeper.
Okay, so the usually from what I was told, it's usually people that, so you have two types of people that are invited and are already in the scene, meaning that the scene is already tailored for them and that the environment is already made for them to have a good time and to thrive. And then there are people that are not that. Okay. Meaning that
randoms want to show up.
Right. So when randoms want to show up, or when people that want to show up to feel included in that scene, they would have to get lucky by finding a quote-unquote gatekeeper, which is somebody that is like our sister, that is very nice and very giving and very understanding that there does need to be a diverse factor in there. So there are people that are trying to modernize the scene. And I have heard various testaments. By that I mean one testament of it.
But it's a testament from the primary source.
Right.
They're in there.
Which states that yes, it is getting really better. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is the circuit community filled with white gay people? Yes.
Yes. Electric chair.
Is it filled with a lot of attractive cisgendered, like very very repetitive pattern? Yes. Unfortunately, it's because and it's gonna sound super shady, but these people that are also LGBT or gay identifying, queer and everything, are usually in high positions, because I've been reassured this lifestyle is not cheap.
Exactly.
So usually
they're successful.
Right, the gay people that are successful are usually the lighter ones, because much like especially in America, a lot of the racial inequalities wouldn't really give that much opportunity for the gay black people to succeed as much. However, that does not mean that there are none.
Right.
It's just they are the minority.
Yeah.
So with all that taken into account, it kind of so it drew the playing ground of saying, do we misjudge them, or do we see how they act and judge them accordingly? Because it does sound like they have created an environment where they are comfortable and they fund it and they support it, and they control it so it can get the traction that it needs. So it's kind of like, do we have to now pretend that you guys' feelings, as everybody else calling it like it is not a thing? Because that to me, that's what it sounds like. It's just saying, you guys, why do you guys think that we're so we have a negative outlook on things when we just don't invite you to things because we don't want to have sex with you after we've done doing our situation? And
okay, I respect you also, but I'm just asking a question. Why are you here?
It's like, we just, there's no place for you, but we don't want to have any bad, we don't want you to think bad of us. And it's like, but sister, you don't want me there. Yeah. It's like, so then it begs because there also came the argument of, oh, well, that's a very particular environment where certain things happen.
Seems like they also have a very loyal fan base too, because people. I've heard stories of people traveling for circuit parties. So
I know, and that's tired, girl.
The money, the planning, this is not something that you do willy nilly.
Yeah,
it is something planned and rehearsed. So it is saying, do you girls just not want to admit that, oh yeah, our system right now is comfortable. We don't want change. We want to stay comfortable. That would just be reinforcing the fact of, oh, you'd want to stay comfortable in your white space, because what would attract, even if more people of diversity came, it doesn't seem like you guys see the benefit of it. Right. So that's my thing. If you guys don't see the benefit of it,
parties. So let me ask this: are these parties are more through not a recruitment style, but it's you can only get in by being invited in by
allegedly, yes. So it's I think it's also there are events that are open. But I think what we're mainly talking about is those circuit parties that go beyond the main events.
You're both grown men. If he's looking at it and his mouth is watering,
like there might be a main circuit party, but maybe you don't get invited to the little RSVP, like a little side one that there's gonna be more intimate. And the point just being like, because even if that was very exclusive, if you if out of 100 people, like let's say 45 of them are black or 45 of them are of an ethnicity that's not just Caucasian,
right?
It does become like, oh, okay, so there is even in this small minute people, but usually it is like all the white girls, which again I want to state, because you guys are LGBT, like I understand, so it's not dogpiling you, but it is like to call out the reality of the situation. Like usually you hang out and you befriend your own because it's what, like it's
all you know.
Yeah,
like,
so
that's
like
all you're comfortable with.
And there's a lot of white gays around, so honestly you're just gonna like freaking.
That's like literally my.
If she don't let me do this video,
right?
This Harpie lady calling me again. She got me together. Lord, I'm gonna just let her ring because she's doing too much.
That honestly is one of my concerns, like moving to that area or like considering moving there. It's just how
very separate
everything
is.
Yeah. Oh Lord, I can understand that sentiment. It's very hard to let go of the 305.
Bad bitches to the front, please.
Yeah, we're very like a melting pot of garbage. So
I know.
So a good point that was also brought up is the pretty privilege, where there are certain girls that get
by
just because they don't have the funds or they don't have the this to get by. Let's say that they have some other services, some other benefits, like that you can offer to somebody that has more than an excess enough. So it's like, oh girl, I'll pay for you. You could come. Oh girl, I'll give you some of this. Oh girl,
that sounds like a certain somebody.
a little Q bottom, we know.
Right? I don't understand how he was able to.
Because she had enough will to get pounded by A boys. So it.
It's the mess. It was the messiness for me specifically.
Oh, girl, that is another.
That's another story. But anyway.
So we clearly know that there is a pretty privilege to it, because you can get by going to these parties by maybe you don't fit the standard and you don't have this, but you have pretty privilege.
Right.
Which, like anything, and from what I'm told, it's not, you have to be a pretty light-skinned boy or a pretty white boy. So it's not even like the pretty goes to a lot of
right.
Which again is not to say that it's not, but it's very telling sometimes where it's like, oh, I would invite him, but if he's my type.
This is World War VI.
Or I would invite him if I like. Which again, sometimes it just becomes very telling when it's like, no, I only want to invite people I like and people I do, and it's like, okay, but then all the people you invite look like carbon copies of themselves.
Exactly.
Did you shadow clone to all of them? And you're just like, so it's very much like, when we take a look at those things, it's like, do we not call that out, or are you just conveniently only friends with those people?
Exactly. It very much reminds me of that friend that the Harpie lady.
Hello, yeah. Where she?
What name are we gonna give her?
Our sister. She was a Kariba. No, Uncle. Not the snake giant. Oh my God, not Uncle. I love Uncle, bitch.
Okay, there's even no correlation.
But
anywho.
One of our Harpie ladies, Justers over there, like basically, like I have seen this too. They haven't been my intimate close friends, but they have been friends that I've been cool with. Like sometimes the white girls, even if they're gay, they do get into a space of like saying some racist stuff that like does not come off.
Oh my God.
Which is, that is not the inclusion. That, like, that's what I mean, but that's not being inclusive. It's like, girl, you didn't even realize. How do you think you're gonna realize that there's a problem of you being viewed as discriminatory when you over here talking about some, oh, but I like my party? It's like, I feel like, again, you guys like being comfortable in how this works and because it works. So it's very much like, just stay in there and be comfortable then. I don't think you should worry about what other people perceive as you, because the people that whom's opinion you're worried about, you're not gonna let them into the party anyway. So it's like
that's interesting, because like I didn't even consider that like this was a whole race issue, because when it sounded like in the beginning that it just sounds like
allegedly
people in general.
Not. This is what I'm saying. Allegedly it's not. So here's my thing with gay people. Sometimes we have to a lot of the time speak between the lines, because here's my
That's
thing.
how
Here's my
everybody is now.
right, because here's my thing with. So let's say me and you are going to the party, right?
Right.
And you want to invite a boy that you like, but it has to get both of our approval. Every boy that you bring up that is a certain type, I say no to. But if they're another type, you notice that I say yes to. So that becomes like a, hey, how come all the dark boys you say no, but all of these you say yes?
Damn,
but that's
so
just
they need multiple. Damn, that really does sound like, okay,
But
why
that's
are we
what
being tested?
But it becomes like a thing like that because it's like, okay, so then think about this. Do you now call out your fellow sister who you live for her, and she's never demonstrated anything bad or ignorant to you, but you start to notice this pattern of like, hey.
Listen, if you're friends with anybody where you feel like you can't challenge them on anything, then are you
That's not
really
your
their friend?
You better double check yourself.
Oh, and this is something I had to learn the hard way.
You can't even read
learning this
them and be
now.
like, girl, stop saying yes to all the Chinese boys. Like, let me have some other flavors, please.
Like, there's nothing wrong with trying something else. My thing is with the gay boys, it's like, oh, but I don't like them. Oh, but I don't like them.
I don't care what you like. I want to fuck him.
I got an ass so big like the sun. Hope you got a mouth for a dick I want to.
It's like, right. So here's another thing. Usually, so we're doing some of these parties, they engage in some activities that are above,
Of course.
right?
Extracurricular activities.
So it's kind of like more telling when it's like everybody wants the option of having a pretty white boy. That eye roll was everything because literally, like, ugh.
It's like, really.
So I think I want to like start summarizing this because this is something that we're either going to need more details on, because so far it's really sounding like a whole bunch of angry gay white men being like, don't judge us, and then it's like, okay, we won't judge you, but like I think you guys are being this way.
Yeah.
like
Are you not?
and it's kind of like a
The
thing of
pictures
like,
don't lie.
that's what it's
The Instagram posts don't lie.
Right. So it's kind of like an approach of this. I personally don't mind anything because, again, everybody can do what they want with their life. But it's like, you can't be... Here's my thing, right? So what if we create... Like, not we, but like, what if someone creates like an inclusive circuit party that gets more traction and blows up? Then I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, but you guys didn't support the traditional circuit system. When it's like,
Poo-poo.
like...
Go to Furball. Or
No,
what was that other?
not
I
Furball.
know. That failure.
Oh my god. With DashCon.
Jump in the ball pit.
and they peed in that.
They peed in it.
So before you guys pee in the circuit party and destroy,
Or on someone's couch.
I honestly think like to anybody that feels like their community, like the circuit community is being viewed bad, think about this. Are we showing signs of inclusion? Are we showing that we want to, or is this just somewhere for this particular group that has already found its niche to get its rocks off?
Have you did this lately? No. Daughter, have you looked at this lately, daughter? Not at all. Bitch, you look a fool.
Because that's okay too. Just let everybody know that that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because then people will profit off of making like a black circuit party, and then they'll get the money.
Right?
So it's like,
just be clear with your intentions so we can make money in other areas you fail to fill.
period.